as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind?
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Here's Randy Bullock now to put toe to leather, and we are underway from Cincinnati. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Check 80.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 21-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Roethlisberger. And right away, he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Bullock good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
At the 45-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They go play action with Roethlisberger. Steps away to his left. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
So we've seen some good pressure defensively already here in the first quarter. Here's another good example.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Roethlisberger. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at the 20. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And out across midfield down to the 45. It's a gain of 35.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
I always love the opening game of the season, and for the players, always nice to get those firsts out of the way, isn't it? How about here? The first sack of the season. Not just in the first game, but in the opening drive. That's the way to get things kicked off.
After the sack on 1st down, Dalton. Got his man. It's Eifert. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Dalton. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Dante Hightower coming in for the sack from his linebacker spot. Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And he'll give it here to his running back. He's going to have the 1st down past the 20. He's at the 50. And finally down at the 32-yard line. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 63 yards.
It's a gain of 63 yards. 1st down, Steelers.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. First carry for James Conner. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another 1st down run right there.
Come on.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on 1st down. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. 22 yards there, a 1st down. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there with his first career touchdown in his first career game as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Boswell good with the extra point. 7-7, our score after one. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Complete. Richardson has it. He got 29 yards that time. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
Dante Hightower on the stop. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Check. Watch 54. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get... Heavy. Regular. Switch. Motion. Mike spot 4.
Dalton here from the gun. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack, but I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. Has bred this big defensive tackle.
They'll try and run for it with Connor. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the 1st down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit, too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Play action. Now Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Hey, alert, 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 alert! Hey, alert, 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 alert!
Now Roethlisberger on first down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take a win.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away.
Let's go.
Their own 20-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Mike 50.
Andy Dalton. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's second and 10 now from about the 32. To throw again. Dalton. Flushed out right. Open man is Ross, complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there for Cincinnati. 42 yards. Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. And the early going, it's the Texans out in front. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On second and 7, Dalton. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Richardson. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
You need keys. 36.
They'll give it to Mixon, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Taking it in from 4 yards out, and the Bengals have taken the lead.
And And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that makes the score 14-7. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Roethlisberger. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Bengals grab it. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Hey, Haywood! Right there, 54, right there. Heavy. Go. Check 31, check 31. Stop.
To throw here, Dalton. Wide open receiver, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice in this rush coming, and he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to fourth down.
Well, we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position.
368. 198. Watch 98. 98's the mic. Record. 198. 368. Let him know.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
I got you. 2 by 2. Move. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Dalton. Flush to his right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off at the 35. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. But it's brought in by Washington. 20, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, 56 yards, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point put through by Boswell, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They start from scratch here, so to speak. 14-all following the interception last time that led to a score. Now they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Fighting through it, he's got space. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Watch 98. 98's the mic. Hey, we're pretty quiet.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Play action here with Dalton. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Dante Hightower able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals.
They go 368. Watch 98. Watch 98. 98's the mic.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he dreamed of this. How about this for your debut? 2nd sack in the opener.
Yeah, it's great to get 1. That's memorable. 2? Hello.
Now, he dreamed about it. He thought about it. Did he ever expect it to happen? Probably not.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Taken in at the 22. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. A very solid gain of 27.
It's a gain of 27 yards.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Just week one, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. The toss play to Mixon.
Here we go, G. Get off the field.
And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Again, it's Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Bullock good on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? Show me ball. Give me some. Give me some. Here we go. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Watch the run.
Here's Roethlisberger. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Now here's Ross. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Pick me up. Here we go. Alert flow, alert flow, alert flow. Check 99. Here we go. 93, 52, 93, 44.
On 2nd and 2, Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Leave. Mike 5-4. He's tired of me. He's tired of us. Regular. Right there. 54 Mike. I'm coming up to you. I'm coming up.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And it's taken in at the 9. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd and 1, Roethlisberger. Brett's coming, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
3rd and 8.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Steelers will go. It's Roethlisberger. And no, it's incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Hands up! Night, sweetheart. Hold the look. Regular. 198. Hands up!
Dalton, 1st and 10. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. That's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
He was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Here's a run with Mixon, and he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and the lead now up to 14. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
How many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw here, Roethlisberger. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He was trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Well, a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Steelers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. Roethlisberger will throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Cincinnati, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they go down to defeat here in